There's so many things to love about living in South Florida. And for me, probably my favorite thing about calling Fort Lauderdale home is about heading 50 miles in that direction to the Bahamas. And the best way to do it is in the right kind of boat. A boat that's not good enough, a boat that is all good for doing a Bahamas passage. And today we're on board a Leopard 45 that exhibits what the perfect Bahamas and island cruising boat can be. My name's Wiley Sharp with Catamaran Central. Let's go for a sail. We're going to begin today's tour up here on the lounge. Now, when Robertson and Kane first launched the Leopard 45, they did not have the lounge version. They subsequently called the original hulls the sport version, although you didn't really gain much sail area. And I think the trade-off of losing this lounge really is something I would not be willing to do. And one of the nice compromises between this Flybridge arrangement and a traditional Flybridge arrangement is the connectivity from the helm position, which you'll see shortly, between the Flybridge, the helm, and the cockpit. So as the guy that's normally the one behind the helm, it gives me very clear communication with everyone on board the boat, whether they're sitting up here or down in the cockpit. I love that Leopard puts a table up here in the Flybridge, something that some of their competitors do not do, which is a great place for resting your book, sunscreen, binoculars, or anything else you don't want cluttering the space. There's also a fusion head unit here, so you can control the speakers not only up here, but throughout the entire boat, making sure that the party never stops. And my wife's favorite place here is the daybed, which is directly forward and centerline, just inboard of the helm position. And with good, well-placed arm grips and nice gradual steps, it's very easy to make your way from the Flybridge here to the helm. And as you guys know from all the videos we've shot over the years, the importance I place in a helm position. And over the years, Robertson and Kane has gotten better at the deck layout of their helm arrangement, and the 45 is no exception to that rule. So here at the helm, we have a full suite of Raymarine electronics, including radar and AIS. We've also got a Fusion stereo controller here, so you can control the volume of the music at the helm. Directly below that, we've got the throttles on the outboard side, which gives you really good lines of sight on the starboard weather deck when going starboard too. Just below that, we have the Yanmar control panels, as well as the steering wheel, some cup holders, as well as a Raymarine 55 for the Raymarine VHF. As we continue inboard from there, we've got 2 of the 3 winches on board the boat, which are all powered electric Lumar winches. The thing that I love about the more modern catamaran designs, and I think Leopard does exceptionally well, is how they bring all of these control lines back to these 3 powered winches, making line management an absolute breeze. Outboard of that, we have the 3rd and final electric winch on board, which is designed to use with the Traveler as well as the main sheet. And then underfoot, we have a really nice deep line organizing bag, which not only keeps your lines out of the way, but it allows them to dry without turning all moldy and mildewy. Few steps down from the helm brings us to the cockpit, which, just like all of the Leopards we've ever looked at, is just a really well thought out, well laid out area. Here on the starboard side, directly below the helm, we've got storage for the propane locker, as well as a nice large daybed. Adjacent to that, we have a large U-shaped settee with the factory cushion set, all in very good condition, with storage not only under here in the aft portion, but also here forward. And it's also worth pointing out that there is a full enclosure for this cockpit area, really creating a 4-season room, if you will. Coming aft in the cockpit, we make our way to the electric davits, which hold the Highfield Tender with the 25 horsepower 4-stroke Yamaha. Another thing you'll notice is just how much shade there is back here because of the custom solar array, which not only adds more than enough electricity to the battery bank, but also gives you more protection from the elements when you're sitting here in the cockpit. We're gonna make our way over here to the port transom and take a quick look here. On this side, we have the dive style ladder. And it's also worth pointing out that this aftermarket custom solar array, the support posts make really good grab rails for when you're either getting into or out of the tender. And through here, we have the first of 2 mechanical spaces, which house the upgraded Yanmar 45 horsepower diesels, which are paired to SD60 sail drives. Both engine rooms on board the Leopard 45 are identical. And as you can see, this boat has been very well looked after. Sometimes big things do come in smaller packages. As you guys know, we've done a number of Leopard 48s on this channel, and I would make the argument that the Salon, not only from a livability, but a storage standpoint, is far better on the Leopard 45 than its predecessor, the Leopard 44, or the old flagship, the Leopard 48. Let's go ahead and dive into some of those reasons why I think it's a better Salon. So we're going to begin the tour here in the starboard aft corner of the Salon, first at the main distribution panel. Now everything you see here is very similar to what's found on all the other Leopards in this age range, because they do use a standardized Blue Sea panel, which just means it's a very clean installation, and troubleshooting it anywhere in the world should be no problem. Now from there, that's where things get a little bit more interesting. Above our panel, we have the Spectre Watermaker control. We also have the Northern Lights control panel for the generator, which has under 1,000 hours on it, which is really a testament to the value of having a big solar bank as well as a large lithium battery bank for staying off the grid. And then above that, we've got a Victron display to show us exactly what our output is, input, etc., allowing you to really maximize your off the grid experience. Now below the distribution panel, we've got the main fridge freezer unit here, starboard aft. This is also supplemented with additional cold storage out in the cockpit. Continuing forward on the starboard side, we get to the galley, and this is a dramatic departure from the Leopard 44 that this boat replaced to moving into the starboard forward portion of the Salon. Because of the way the stove is arranged, this large single basin sink, and this expansive counter space, not only does it make meal prep very easy, but the views are panoramic, and let's be real, that's why we're all out here. And then over here on the port aft portion of the Salon, we have this large oversized U-shaped settee, which is just flooded with natural light thanks to the overhead skylight, which does have a blind we can close for those hot summer days. In addition to just being a really nice lounging area, this table is also a high-low table, and it expands, giving you more than enough space for those larger dinner parties to accommodate 6 or 8 outside, 5 or 6 inside, truly making this boat the potential gathering spot for all of your friends while you're out cruising in the Bahamas. Nav stations are becoming less and less common in more modern catamaran designs, simply because people don't need to use paper charts like they used to. With that being said, I always love a forward-facing nav station like we have here on board All Good. It gives you a perfect place to do those work emails, update your family and friends through your vlog, and the perfect place to maintain watch while underway at night. Before we make our way into the staterooms though, let's come out to the forward cockpit and check this area out as well as the foredeck. Now the forward cockpit on the Leopard is really so ingrained in the brand's DNA. I could not picture owning a Leopard without the forward cockpit. And the forward cockpit on the Leopard 45 is quite honestly one of the best forward cockpits that they've ever come out with. Not only is there more than adequate storage under the settee here, centerline here, as well as on the daybed adjacent, but we also have a nice table, a slider above the stairs, making it a great place to come up for cocktails in the afternoon or just very easy access to the foredeck without stepping onto the weather decks. There's a lot going on up here on the foredeck, and we're going to start all the way forward on the factory installed bowsprit. This boat is equipped with the factory installed bowsprit, code 0 on a roller furler, as well as a Genoa on a roller furler, with all of the sail control lines leading back to the 3 electric winches at the helm, making this boat a breeze to sail single-handed. Before we take a look at these large lazarettes underfoot, I'm going to come over to the port bow and talk about what we have going on both bows. So first and foremost, both bows have the dolphin seat, which is probably one of the more popular places for people to hang out while underway. And then directly behind me, we've got the first of two forepeaks, which on the port side, you can either access it from the deck hatch or from the port forward stateroom, whereas on the starboard side, the only access is through the deck hatch. And both forepeaks are set up for storage, giving you the ability to carry everything you could possibly need while cruising. And then before we make our way back into the interior to look at the staterooms, underneath my feet here on this port side is the generator, which is a 6.5 kilowatt Onan. Centerline, we have the anchor windlass, which is paired to an oversized aftermarket anchor. And then on the starboard side, we've got over 200 gallons of fresh water that can be supplemented with your Spectre Watermaker. Let's go ahead and check out the staterooms. We're gonna make our way down the port companionway and head aft into the first of three staterooms on board All Good. Now, I would consider this stateroom as the VIP because it is slightly larger than the forward stateroom. But as you can see, we've got tons of storage underneath the berth as well as on the inboard side. And moving forward from there on the outboard side, we'll see the pocketing door, which gives you very wide open, easy access to the first of three heads on board the boat. Continuing forward up the port companionway, we get to the second guest stateroom, and you'll see on the outboard side as we first step into the stateroom, the head is almost a mirror image of what we saw in the port aft cabin. And really the big difference between the staterooms is the shape of the overall bed, as well as the access to the forepeak through that opening ahead. We're gonna make our way across the salon now to check out the owner's stateroom, which is without a doubt the nicest stateroom on board the boat. As you can see, this space is just flooded with tons of natural light through all the opening portals, as well as windows on the outboard side. And one of the things that I love about this layout is instead of having a sofa down here, which is just a waste of space, they put a very nice workstation in, as well as tons of storage on both the outboard side and the inboard side. Before we get to the head on the outboard side, you'll see this is where the lion's share of storage is here in the owner's stateroom, with drawers, hanging lockers, all of the space you could possibly need for an extended cruise. Moving forward in the owner's stateroom beyond the companionway, we get into the master head, which is equipped with a washer and dryer on the outboard side. And continuing forward, we have the oversized shower, which is arguably larger than my shower at home. I hope you guys enjoyed your time on board All Good as much as I enjoyed sharing it with y'all. I mean, on a boat like this, with weather like this, what's not to love? If you've got any questions on this particular Leopard 45 or a similar boat, definitely leave a comment down below, shoot me an email, and on behalf of Laura and myself, thank you so much for tuning into the Catamaran Central channel.